Hey friends, and welcome back to A Simple Truth. Now we've been continuing through Numbers, but today we're going to mix it up just a little bit. So we're still going to look at Numbers 14 and 15 today, but Psalms 90 has a poem by Moses that we're going to take a look at, and you'll see why that's timely as well. So last time we looked at the Israelites spying on Canaan, seeing if it was a land that they could take, and it was a good land. Yet the Canaanites were intimidating. I guess that's the best way that I can say it. Incredibly intimidating. Now, God had given his word that he'll protect his people, that he will usher the Israelites into the land that he has for them. Yet that was something that they were terrified about. So today we're going to look at the fallout from that, or at least a little bit of the fallout. The Israelites don't take over Canaan here. And we also see that Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb are pretty much the only ones spared from the judgment that God has, because they said, let's take the land, for we can surely do it. And the others did not say that. So they are the ones kind of spared by that. And again, once we get to Psalms 90, we'll take a look at that poem by Moses. So Numbers 14 and 15, then Psalms 90. So chapter 14. So all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, if only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we had died in this wilderness. Why has the Lord brought us to this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should become victims? Would it not be better for us to return to Egypt? So they said to one another, let us select a leader and return to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, who were both among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes, and they spoke to all the congregation, to the children of Israel, saying, the land we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord delights in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, nor fear the people of the land, for they are our bread. Their protection has departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. And all the congregation said to stone them with stones. Now the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of meeting before all the children of Israel. Then the Lord said to Moses, how long will these people reject me, and how long will they not believe me, with all the signs that I have performed among them? I will strike them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and I will make you a nation greater and mightier than they. And Moses said to the Lord, then the Egyptians will hear of it, for by your might you brought up these people from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, Lord, are among these people, that you, Lord, are seen face to face, and that your cloud stands above them, and that you, before them, in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if you kill these people as one man, then the nations which have heard of your fame will speak, saying, because the Lord was not able to bring this people to the land which he swore to give them, therefore he killed them in the wilderness. And now, I pray, let the power of my Lord be great, just as you have spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. But he by no means clears the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation. Pardon the iniquity of this people, I pray, according to the greatness of your mercy, just as you have forgiven these people from Egypt, even until now. Then the Lord said, I have pardoned according to your word, but truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, because of all the men who have seen my glory, and the signs which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have put me to the test. Now those 10 times have not heeded my voice. They certainly shall not see the land which I swore to their fathers, nor shall any of those who rejected me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit in him, and has followed me fully, I will bring into the land where he went, and his descendants shall inherit it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwell in the valley. Tomorrow turn and move out into the wilderness by way of the Red Sea. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear this with this evil congregation who complain against me? I have heard the complaints which the children of Israel make against me. Say to them, as I live, says the Lord, just as you have spoken in my hearing, so I will do to you. The carcasses of you who have complained against me shall fall in the wilderness. All of you who are numbered according to your entire number, except 20 years old and above, except for Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun, you shall by no means enter the land which I swore I would make you dwell in. But your little ones, whom you said you would be victims, I will bring in, and they shall know the land which you have despised. But as for you, your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness, and your sons shall be shepherds in the wilderness 40 years, and bear the brunt of your infidelity, until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness. According to the number of days which you spied out the land, 40 days. For each day you shall bear your guilt 1 year, namely 40 years, and you shall know my rejection. I, the Lord, have spoken this, and surely do all this, and I will surely do so to all this evil congregation who are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. Now the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land had returned and made all the congregation complain against him by bringing a bad report on the land. Those very men who brought the evil report on the land died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, remained alive, of them who went up to spy out the land. Then Moses told all these words to the children of Israel, and all the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain, saying, Here we are, and we will go up to the place which the Lord has promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Why do you now transgress the command of the Lord? For this will not succeed. Do not go up, lest you be defeated by your enemies, for the Lord is not among you. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned away from the Lord. The Lord will not go up with you. But they presumed to go up to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, neither the ark of the covenant nor the Lord of the ark of the covenant of the Lord, nor Moses departed from the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who dwell on the mountain came down and attacked them, and drove them back as far as Hormah. Chapter 15. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have come into the land you are to inhabit, which I am giving you, and you make an offering by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering or sacrifice to fulfill a vow as a free will offering, or in your appointed feasts to make a sweet aroma to the Lord from the herd or the flock. Then he who presents his offering to the Lord shall bring a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering you shall prepare with the burnt offering or the sacrifice for the lamb. Or, for a ram, you shall prepare as a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil as a drink offering. You shall offer 1/3 of a hin of wine as a sweet aroma to the Lord. And when you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering, or as a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, or a peace offering to the Lord, then shall be offered with the young bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with half a hin of oil. And you shall bring the drink offering half a hin of wine as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. Thus it shall be done for each young bull, for each ram, and for each lamb or young goat. According to the number that you prepare, so shall you do with everyone according to their number. All those who are native born shall do all these things in this manner, in presenting an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. And if a stranger dwells among you, or whoever is among you throughout your generations, and would present an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord, just as you do, so shall he do it. One ordinance shall be for you of the assembly, and for the stranger who dwells with you, an ordinance forever throughout your generations. As you are, so shall the stranger be before the Lord. One law and one custom shall be for you, and for the stranger who dwells with you. Again, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land to which I am to bring you, then it will be that when you eat the bread of the land, that you shall offer up a heave offering to the Lord. You shall offer up a cake of the first of your ground meal as a heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you offer it up. Of the first of your ground meal you shall give to the Lord, a heave offering throughout your generations. If you sin unintentionally and do not observe all the commandments which the Lord has spoken to Moses, all that the Lord has commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day the Lord gave commandment and onward throughout your generations, then it will be, if it is unintentionally committed without the knowledge of the congregation, that the whole congregation shall offer one young bull as a burnt offering, as a sweet aroma to the Lord, with its grain offering and its drink offering according to the ordinance, and one kid of the goats as a sin offering. So the priest shall make atonement for the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them. for it was unintentional. And they shall bring their offering, an offering made by fire to the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord, for their unintended sin. It shall be forgiven for the whole congregation and for the children of Israel, and the stranger who dwells among them, because all the people did it unintentionally. And if a person sins unintentionally, then he shall bring a female goat in its first year as a sin offering. So the priest shall make atonement for the person who sins unintentionally, when he sins unintentionally before the Lord, to make atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. You shall have one law for him who sins unintentionally, for him who is native born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger who dwells among them. But the person who does anything presumptuously, whether he is native born or a stranger, or one who brings reproach on the Lord, he shall be cut off from among his people. Because he has despised the word of the Lord and has broken his commandment, that person shall be completely cut off. His guilt shall be upon him. Now, while the children of Israel, while in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron, to all the congregation, and they put him under guard, because he had not been explained to him what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "This man must surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp." So the Lord commanded Moses. All the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel. Tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue thread in the tassel of the corners. And you shall have the tassel, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that you may not follow the harlotry to which your own heart and your own eyes are inclined, and that you remember and do all my commandments, and be holy for your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God." All right. And Psalm 90. Again, this is a poem by Moses. "Lord, you have been our dwelling place in our generations, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world. Even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn man to destruction and say, 'Return, O children of men, for 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it was past, and like a watch in the night. You carry them away like a flood. They are asleep. In the morning they are like grass which grows up. In the morning it flourishes and grows up. In the evening it is cut down and withers. For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance. For all our days have passed away in your wrath. We finish our years like a sigh. The days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years. Yet their boast is only in labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away. Who knows the power of your anger? For as the fear of you, so is your wrath. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Return, O Lord, how long, and have compassion on your servants. O satisfy us early with your mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days in which you have afflicted us. Let the years in which we have seen evil, let your work appear to your servants, and your glory to their children. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands." So I can see when they were building out this chronological approach, why they put that there, and why those words would be heavy on Moses' heart. All the fear that the Israelites are experiencing through Canaan, and all the disruption, it really had me wondering, what is my fear stopping me from doing? And I know part of it was just something as ridiculous as reading the Bible in front of people, even though it's on YouTube. I just think that there's so much that fear can stop us from doing. And yet, as Moses points out, I think all of that becomes a lot more trivial when we remember how limited our time is. So how important is that to teach it to the children that are our children, and to this generation that's coming after us, and how important that is. So I'm going to be thinking about that for a while, especially for my daughter. So yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for joining. Have a great rest of your night.